Congratulations, you've been approved for a home loan. Or are you pre-approved? Or was it pre-qualified? Or was that a conditional loan approval or a full loan approval? Well, all of those are different things, and it's very important to know the differences. I'm Brent Bruce with Network Funding. In just a moment here, I'm going to explain the differences between all of those terms and what they mean to you. I'm a loan officer here with Network Funding, and we see this all the time. When someone is ready to purchase a home, they need to speak with a loan officer as soon as possible to find out what they qualify for, what their payments would look like, how much cash they need, and those type of situations. What does their credit look like? Are they in a good position to buy? And that is the process of applying for a home loan. When you do that, what you're looking for is either a pre-qualification or a pre-approval. Pre-qualification is looking and hearing about all the items that are important, like the income, the assets, and reviewing the credit report, but the documentation that supports those numbers has not yet been received and reviewed by someone in the company. So if someone tells me they make $5,000 a month, I'm expecting that they make $5,000 a month, and that's part of my pre-qualification. Now, moving to pre-approval is when I've actually reviewed those documents. So normally a loan officer is going to ask you to supply pay stubs, W-2s, tax returns, bank statements, and other items that are needed for us to move you from pre-qualified to pre-approved. Now, if you're selling a home, do you want to accept an offer for someone who's pre-qualified, all verbal, or do you want to accept an offer from someone who's pre-approved, that their documentation has verified their income and their assets and their ability to purchase this home? Probably going to look for a pre-approval. So it's very important that you work for that pre-approval with your loan officer. Now, once the documentation has been collected and the pre-approval has been issued, when you go into escrow, or at least the next step of the process, is that all of this gets submitted to an underwriter. Because the fact of the matter is that in almost all cases, a loan officer is not qualified to issue a loan approval. They can issue pre-qualification or pre-approval, but not an approval. Underwriters do that. So the first type of approval that you'll see come out is what's called a conditional approval. In most cases, when the underwriter reviews the file, there are going to be a few things that they still need before they are ready to approve that file. It might even be something as basic as an appraisal or a title report. But it's very common that there are little details that are missed by loan officers or by the processing staff or others that are involved in the transaction. This could be things like maybe there's a deduction on a pay stub that needs to be verified and explained. It could be a large deposit on a bank statement. Where did that money come from? Is it that that person went out and got a different loan to deposit that money into the bank and use that for a down payment? Well, that may or may not be allowed. So these are things that the underwriter is going to be asking about. That is a conditional loan approval. Once those conditions are all satisfied, then the underwriter can issue a clear to close, or what some people will consider a full approval. Now, even then, there may be other items that are still needed before the loan will fund and record and close. But those are the basics that you're going to hear about. You're going to hear about pre-qualification, which is verbal. Pre-approval, which means the documentation has been reviewed by at least the loan officer. Conditional approval, which is something that should be issued by an underwriter. And then full approval or clear to close status, which is what you want to hear, because that means that very soon you will be closing on your transaction. If you have any questions, please go ahead and send me an email. My contact information is listed at the bottom of this video or also in the email that was sent to you, or contact me by email me at brent.bruce@nflp.com. My phone number is 909-463-4750. Let me know what other questions you have. I'd be happy to comment. Thanks.